Hey everyone, it's Elo. Welcome to my channel's first little eating show. I still don't know if it's mukbang or mukbang. I'm not sure if American people just said mukbang to make it sound more Asian or if mukbang is an Americanized version of the word. Anyway, if you don't like eating sounds, you have been warned. Don't watch this. You're not gonna like it. The reason why I'm doing this is because I don't know if this is a guilty pleasure thing to say, but I watch a lot of other people's eating videos. I watch Trisha Paytas eating a lot. I watch Tony Bomboni eating a lot. I enjoy the togetherness, even though I'm not actually there. I also like a lot of eating sounds if they're crunchy. I'm not really a huge fan of like the suctiony type squishy sounds, but I do like crunchy stuff and cookies and all kinds of things like that. I like those noises. So I guess watching other people eat and talk kind of just makes me feel less alone, and I think that that's something that we all need right now, since we are, well, those of us who are obeying the COVID stuff are pretty much alone a lot of the time, unless we are lucky enough to have, friends or family that we live with. I obviously live alone. I have Frida, who's here to my right, hoping that she gets something. She's been sleeping this whole time, and then of course, as soon as I get set up and make my food, she's perfectly alert, so hopefully she won't make too much noise. So what I have today, before I just ramble away, I have a salad. This is an avocado ranch salad with chicken. It's iceberg and romaine lettuce, black beans, chili lime seasoned white meat chicken, fire roasted corn, pepper jack cheese, seasoned tortilla chips, and avocado ranch dressing. This is a market side salad from Walmart. Recently I've been doing grocery pickup. It's free, by the way, if you hate going to the grocery store, or if you're germ conscious or in a high-risk population. It might make you happy to learn, if you don't know, that you can go to Walmart's website and shop virtually, and then go there and just tell them that you're there, and they'll bring all the food and put it in your trunk. You don't have to do anything other than pick out what you want and pay, of course. So it's been really, let me rephrase, I haven't wanted to cook a lot lately. I think I've mentioned this to like one person, but cooking was something that made me feel connected in my relationship, and it was something I enjoyed doing. So cooking now by myself just kind of makes me feel sad. I'm still sort of working into it. So I have been eating meals at home. They just haven't been anywhere close to what I was eating before. I've been eating a lot of low prep stuff, microwavable vegetables and chicken salad sandwiches, things that I don't have to put much effort into. So I also got on the side, because I've had these salads a few times now and they're good, but they're not super filling. I also got this kids Kraft macaroni and cheese First Adventures Mexican inspired little plating. I've been craving Kraft macaroni and cheese, but it's really dangerous for me to have a whole pot of it in the house because I will eat it all. So I thought if I got this, it would be a good complement to my salad, like just small portions, and I could fulfill my mac and cheese craving. And first bite impression, this is pretty close for something that's microwaved. It tastes very similar to cooking it on the stove, so that's definitely a plus. I know when they first came out with those little mac and cheese cups, I really didn't care for them very much, or let me just say they were a letdown, because I was expecting stovetop quality, and I guess they kind of hadn't perfected it yet. I don't know if they've made it better since, but it wasn't up to par. So this is pretty good though. There's also corn, which I forgot to season, so it's just corn, and questionable looking meat. It says it's chicken in a mild chili sauce. Maybe I'll mix this with the corn together, but let's see. It's definitely like do you ever eat chicken that has that kind of smoky taste? Like, not because of the seasoning, but it's just kind of like skunky meat. It's something that I've gotten used to from like school lunches, and for a while when I was on the Atkins diet or something like that, I was eating a lot of that, like Tyson pre-cut refrigerated chicken strips or whatever, and sometimes they have that same taste. Granted, their quality is probably better than this, but it's really not that bad. The sauce is it is mild because this is for children. But it's pretty good. Usually I put salt and pepper on my corn. Actually, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but secret, I actually really like ketchup on corn, which I know probably sounds ridiculous, or gross. But to my taste palette, it's really good because you have the warm and like the cool mixing together, and then ketchup is pretty much like vinegar and salt, so I think it goes nicely with corn. But I never do that anymore because I was obviously told that it was gross growing up or weird or whatever, so every now and then if I'm, super alone, I'll do it, but not right now. I am one of those people that really likes ketchup though. Granted, that's kind of been going to the wayside for me because I've been trying to treat this acid reflux that I have, which I didn't even know I had, and this is part of what I wanted to talk about, I guess, today. I was having all these symptoms in my throat, and I convinced myself that I had polyps in my throat. So I went to the ENT twice over the span of like 4 years. I think I waited to go again because I was so convinced that something was wrong with my vocal cords, because as some of you know, I sing, and I realized that it's more painful singing things that used to be like buttery smooth. So I was like, what the hell is this? I probably ruined my vocal cords at some point, improperly singing when I was just having fun, or screaming when I was excited or whatever. And I thought for sure I was gonna have to like have surgery and get it fixed. Well, It turns out that I went through all that discomfort of having the camera shoved down my nose and into my throat for nothing, because I actually just have that sensation of really dry throat and pain when I talk for a long time or sing from acid reflux, which blew me away. Because I really don't experience any of the other symptoms. Like I don't feel heartburn. I've had it maybe once or twice in my life, and I know how it feels, and I never feel that ever. So I was really surprised when they were like, yeah, you probably just have acid reflux. I was like, are you sure? But I started taking the medicine. The biggest saving grace for me was getting this wedge pillow that I sleep on now. I put my ergonomic pillow over my wedge pillow, so I'm like kind of propped up, but then I also have my pillow that I like under my neck, and I feel ridiculous and like I'm flying a spaceship every night when I fall asleep, but it has helped so much. Unfortunately, the other things that help are cutting out key ingredients from your diet, and it's no wonder I have acid reflux, because it's a lot of the things that I like. Like, I've always really liked vinegary stuff, salt and vinegar chips, like anything with that strong vinegar. Whenever I used to get a sandwich at Subway, I would make them like make the bread soggy with vinegar. I like the taste, and I have since I was a little kid. So you can imagine it's been like 2 decades of me eating very acidic stuff, and ketchup is one of those things. So I've reduced the amount. I've switched to honey mustard as like my main condiment now. And it's okay, it depends on the honey mustard. But now when I try to eat like ketchup on fries or something, it's not as tasty to me anymore. I used to look at people who ate plain fries and was like, you have a problem? Like the fact that you'd miss an opportunity to eat ketchup? I couldn't understand that. But I get it now. I mean, French fries are still really good on their own. I'm trying to eat all the hot stuff first. So, yeah, it's just kind of like B-grade chicken that you'd find in like a tortilla soup from a chain restaurant or something. You know what I mean, I bet. It's like you keep thinking that you're biting fat, but then your teeth just go straight through it, and it's not actually gristle, it just has the same texture. I'm probably making this sound so disgusting. It's really not that bad, but like I said, I've gotten used to it. I wonder how that will compare to the salad chicken, like eating one after the other, if I'll notice a difference or if they'll be the same. I also want to say that I'm pretty proud of myself for eating on camera, because I definitely have had I mean, it's no secret that I've struggled with my weight. Even looking at some of my YouTube videos from like a year ago, this past month, or this month, I guess, August, both of my YouTube videos last year, for my Patreon were birthday related, because my birthday's on August 27th. This year I'm turning 30. Saying that feels really weird. But I did like a get ready with me, and I had a good time filming the video, and I could tell that I was having a good time when I watched it back recently, but I decided not to release it as I have been doing, you know, like vault videos, because I can't get over how round my face looks. And it's weird, like when you gain weight in the moment, I guess this isn't weird, but it just happens gradually enough that you don't realize how different you look over the course of like 10 to 20 pounds gained. And I think from the time it was my birthday last year to now, I've lost like 25 pounds and put on some muscle, and like my physique has changed, and I feel like my face is slimmer, and I feel like I still have a long way to go, but I'm so embarrassed or like uncomfortable looking at myself looking like that, that I couldn't even post those videos as like public things for people to watch. So, point being, I've struggled with my weight a lot, and really since, I started becoming self-conscious about it in like the 5th grade, and you're what, like 10 in 5th grade? So like 20 years of worrying about how I look in that regard. Countless diets, supplements, like crazy different stuff. And when I was in middle school, for some reason, it was almost like a trend that none of the girls wanted other people to watch them eat. I think part of it was because the boys were a little vulgar, and if you did eat like a hot dog or something, they made jokes. I don't even know if they really knew what they were talking about at the time, but they tried to sexualize the experience of eating, and it was uncomfortable. So a lot of us would, for lunch, either just get French fries or a bagel, and we would rip the bagel into pieces and swipe cream cheese out of these little Philadelphia cream cheese cups. Ironically, those are like the two most unhealthy options, you know, French fries or a bagel with cream cheese. It's just like carbs. But in our minds, it's like, oh, I'm only eating one thing. Because none of us knew jack shit about nutrition at the time. And let me just say, I know this is not nutritious to be eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, but like I said, it's not something I do often. I just have been having like a hankering for it, so don't judge me. Yeah, so we all kind of developed this weird public eating disorder, and I don't say that lightly because I know that it is a serious thing. I'm not trying to make fun of it or anything. We really did have a problem, and some girls more than others. Some girls were already getting into those habits. I don't really want to get into it that much because I don't want people to be reminded if they have that in their past as well, but you know what I'm talking about. So being on camera eating is definitely a big deal for me because A, I constantly worry about being fat, and B, I feel like eating makes me seem gross because of point A. Does that make sense? Like, when you feel self-conscious about your weight, you don't really want people to watch you eat, because all you can think is that they think you are feeding the problem. Anyway, that got dark and weird. I'm sorry. I'm not used to entertaining while I eat. I usually sit slouched like a slug and watching something. So I've been watching a shitload of Naruto. I got my ex, Rich, to start watching it with me before we had broken up. And at first he was kind of making fun of it when he was like, oh, weeb this, weeb that. And I had only ever seen the first Naruto series. I hadn't watched Shippuden yet. So, or any of the stuff after that. So I knew what was going to happen for all of everything that we watched. And by the end of it, he was totally hooked and like wanting to watch so many episodes per day. We were sinking like 3 to 4 hours of the day into watching Naruto. And we've still been like keeping pace watching, and we're in episode like 277, I think, of Shippuden. I don't know if it's Shippuden or Shippuden, but whatever. And God, it's so good. I am 100% certain I'm gonna get a tattoo at some point of the leaf symbol, probably somewhere on my back, because that's where all my tattoos are. Definitely looking forward to that at some point. The story just like resonates with me so much. It's so emotional, and I'm very emotional, so it feels, I don't know, I just feel very like connected to it. And I don't I'm not an actual like weeb. I don't pretend that I know a lot about Asian cultures. I've never been to Japan or China or Taiwan, anything. I don't speak any of the languages. I've never tried to learn. Although I know a few things now. I know that Kage means shadow. I know that, I mean, I already knew like arigato, of course. My favorite one is nani, which means what? Oh, and like Ohio for like good morning. Little things like that. But I don't actually know anything. I'm not educated at all. But I just like Naruto for what it is, and I've watched a number of other more obscure animes, and I like a lot of them. I don't know, this is like Harry Potter for me or something. Like, it's very entrenched. I feel very similar to Naruto in the sense that I really care about my like friendships. Like, I would do anything for the people I love. And even though I'm coming to terms with the fact that that's like unrealistic in real life, it's still like my ideal. My utopia would feature people who are willing to have that bond that they have in the Leaf Village. You know, everyone has each other's back. It really is a community. They help each other. They care about each other. Their comrades are their best friends, and they would do anything for them no matter what. I like the values in the show. Not to mention all the dope fighting. Shikamaru is my absolute favorite. I have a huge crush on him. I don't know why. I'm not like attracted to cartoons in that way, but he's just cute. And so is his dad. They're a good looking family, the Nara clan. I love the baby versions of all of them. I definitely think I would want the Byakugan as my special power. Out of all the things that I've seen, actually, the bubble blowing guy, he was one of the Jinchurikis. I think he was Six Tails, I don't remember. That shit was dope because he could just blow a bubble with this magical pipe. People who don't watch the show are gonna think I'm on crack right now, but whatever. He could blow bubbles with this magical pipe and just float off. And I just thought about how useful that would be in like social situations I didn't want to be in, to just be able to blow a bubble and be like, all right, later, and fly away. But yeah, I think Byakugan is like the coolest one, and I like how they fight. It's very fluid and pretty, I guess. But I did also think about how gross it would look in reality. So if you don't watch this show, I'm gonna stop talking about it soon, I'm sorry. But their veins, like in this area of their face, become very like swole guy at the gym arms. They're very pronounced when they use their Byakugan. And I think that would look disgusting in real life, so that's a trade-off. Okay, I'll stop talking about Naruto. Really what I wanted to talk about was anxiety and anxiety-related things. Because as I said, watching other people eat, hanging out with them, in a sense, makes me feel calmer and less alone. It also makes me hungry sometimes, but whatever. But I was having this thought last night while I was getting ready for bed, and I was watching Behind the Moon's newest video, which is a like jaw dental appointment. I have TMJ myself, so I love all of her videos, but it's so good. I really enjoyed it. I always watch an ASMR video while I take off my makeup and brush my teeth and wash my face. It's so relaxing. I do it too while I'm getting ready. Anyway, as I was listening to her and getting myself ready for bed, I started thinking about how much time and money I wasted thinking I was sick due to my anxiety. Now, I thought this through a lot, and I think I need to preface by saying some people really are sick. Some people really do have chronic illnesses. Some people have horrible situations that I would never wish upon anyone. And this is not a conversation to pretend like that doesn't exist or to belittle anyone or make anyone feel not seen or heard. This is for people like me. And I'm sure that there are plenty of you out there who have similar experiences to mine. Like wrapping back around to the acid reflux thing. I worried myself sick about literally physically ill about that. I wasted probably a couple $100, trying to solve that problem. And I think one of the interesting and awful things about anxiety is that the more supported you feel, the easier it is to let yourself get out of control with your thoughts. Maybe this isn't true for everyone, but this is what I've noticed about myself. Since I've been in this apartment, living by myself, I haven't really felt sick once, which is insane for me. Usually I get sick like multiple times a week. I don't feel well. I feel nauseous or overly tired or whatever. It's only now that I have no one to fall on and say like, I'm drowning, I need help, I don't feel well. It's just me. And it's not like I was addicted to the complaining or anything. It's just that I felt so much weight and pressure from my life, and I wanted that to be relieved a little bit, I think. And I also was in a more comfortable state, and now it's like I don't have the luxury to even think about how I feel. And I really do think that time and just the ability to think are really the enemy of anyone with severe anxiety. Because, and you know this if you have it too, you just work yourself up and it gets worse and worse. But since I haven't even had the opportunity to think about how I feel, I've been fine in a way. I'm not fine. I've had some really, really bad depressive episodes over the last few months. I've had some really, really fucking bad days, I'm not gonna lie, but anxiety-wise, it's like I can't even stop to think, does my stomach hurt? I can't think about the things that would make my stomach hurt. I don't know if this is making any sense, but the anticipation is sometimes what makes things so much worse in any aspect of life. But when it comes to anxiety, that just means that you have so much time to make yourself sick, and everything's amplified, and it's just very hard to control. The anticipation sparks the anxiety sparks the anticipation. It's a never-ending cycle. Granted, I will also say I'm on medication now, and I wasn't before, so I'm not sitting here trying to say like mind over matter, don't think about it and you'll be fine. I'm in therapy. I take a substantial amount of medication at the moment, so it's a joint effort. But I do notice a difference in my general feeling of like, am I well today? Do I feel ill today? This is pretty filling. 310 calories. I'm like getting stuffed, but okay. So, my point in saying this, and you don't have to agree with me, this is just me talking about my own experience. If you don't relate, that's fine. If your life tells you the exact opposite, that's fine. Just saying this for anyone who maybe can relate or just wants to hear someone else's perspective. I feel like for the last 10 years I've been a person that I don't even know. My anxiety got so bad I became agoraphobic. I was having panic attacks almost every single day. Like, that shit's not funny, and it's not light. It's not just like, oh yeah, get over it. Like, it was really bad, and I didn't even recognize myself. I used to sit in agony and just think, why am I like this? Why did this happen to me? Why am I feeling these things that I didn't feel 10 years ago? Why am I so scared of everything now when I was so fearless in high school? Things like that. I just couldn't understand. And I still don't understand, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened. I've had infinite theories in my head as to what did happen. And I've thought about everything from, okay, well, this is related to me being on the autism spectrum. And maybe some of it is. But then I talked to Jasmine, my best friend, who's not on the autism spectrum, and she experiences very similar things in the realm of anxiety to me. And the two of us in high school were like wild as hell. We talked to everyone. We did whatever we wanted. We would stand on our cars in the middle of the strip mall parking lot dancing to music, and we didn't have any awareness of the idea that we looked stupid or that we were a spectacle. Nothing. Like, we were just having a good time. And I can't even imagine being that person now. The thought of doing some of the things I've done in my past shocks me, I guess. I'm just like, wow, am I really the same person? So I don't think that all of it is related necessarily to being on the autism spectrum. Okay, so I moved into thinking like, well, there are a lot of us in the millennial generation who have these symptoms, who go through a period in their life that this happens, you know? And I started thinking like, well, maybe we were all exposed to something. Maybe it was like a food trend while our mothers were pregnant, or maybe it was something that we ate growing up. Maybe it was a chemical we were exposed to in our Tylenol or our bath soap, or I mean, there are infinite possibilities as to what could have influenced this, but I don't think that it's a coincidence, and maybe this sounds really conspiratorial, but I don't think it's a coincidence that so many of us have been going through or have gone through or are still going through this when we were very different growing up. And of course there are social aspects to it as well. You know, the historic events that we've lived through, the sort of clash between human rights issues that have become political issues, all of the stuff that we've dealt with as a group of people, regardless of where we've lived or varying, you know, income statuses, things like that. There are certain things that obviously affect us, and this that we're going through right now is clearly one of them. Who knows how this is going to appear in the future in our lives, but I don't think that it's just like, oh well, all millennials moved around a lot and had a hard time making friends because of it, and then they didn't have social skills and they were all addicted to the computer, so they didn't learn how to be social in real life and blah blah blah. Like, I don't think that that's completely it. My youngest brother, although I don't know anything about him now, the last time I was like in contact and aware of his life, he was like the most popular kid I've known. He had a crap load of friends and they were all glued to their phones like crazy. So I don't think that it's like just technology, or I don't think that we've just depreciated in our ability to be human beings. I think that at the root we are all naturally wanting connection and communication, and I think that we're all capable of it. But for some reason, a large number of us don't feel capable of it anymore. I'm gonna open this salad. I don't even know if I should. I don't know if I can eat this right now. I'm so full. I'm actually gonna grab my dessert instead to try it, because I think it would be a good thing to try on camera. So, one second. Okay, chocolate is another thing that I'm not supposed to be eating because of my acid reflux, but I saw this and I just had to try it. It's edible cookie dough from Nestle Tollhouse. It's chocolate chip flavored. I have to give this a go. Unfortunately, I'm easily gonna gain weight eating this because 2 tablespoons is 140 calories. Okay, that was really loud to open, and Frida also knocked the camera stand, so if we're a little off now, that's why. I'm gonna let this like thaw a little bit. I think it's been in the refrigerator. Anyway, I'll wrap it up, but my point is, I just think that there are a lot of factors that have played into why we're like this, and I don't think it's an isolated thing. However, I didn't feel that way or know that while I was going through it at my worst. I don't think that it's just gone now by any means. I actually had really bad anxiety today when I had to go out for a little while. I was really shaken up and having those like pre-anxiety attack nerves, and I had to call upon my therapy resources to combat that and calm down, and it was difficult. So I don't think that I'm like over it, but when it was really at its peak a number of years ago, my body just started falling apart and my back hurt. I got this TMJ situation. I don't know if I should do this. If you're squeamish about popping noises, maybe skip. But my jaw, and it's probably not going to do it since I'm saying this, but okay. I don't know if you can hear that, probably. My jaw pops every time that I like open it wide. So if I yawn or if I'm chewing something, I've ground my teeth a lot. I do have TMJ disorder. I have pain in my ears. I used to have to go to class with like ice packs and hold them to my face, and it was mortifying, but I was in so much pain, and I didn't know if I had an ear infection or if my teeth were messed up, or if, I don't know. I was so confused about everything, and I wasted so much money on doctor's appointments trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with me? Like, how am I this sick? How do I have all of these problems at once? And the answer was anxiety. When you live in that really, really anxious state, your body's defenses are just lowered because it's constantly trying to fight off your extreme adrenaline induced states. I'm gonna try this. This shit's good. Oh yeah. Anyway, your body just only has so much to give. And when a majority of that is allocated to your anxiety, everything else feels like crap. So I guess I just wanted to try and save someone else the money and the time and just let you know that if you are suffering from extreme anxiety and you also are starting to feel like you have 7 different like diseases or problems, or like it can be anything. It can be your throat hurting, it can be your nose hurting, your ears, your eyes, your jaw, your foot, your back, your butt. It doesn't matter. If you are experiencing symptoms, there is a chance that your body is just overworked. And I wish that I would have known that so that I could have saved myself all of that worry and money and time. I think Frida just moved the camera again. I'm sorry. Fuck, this is really good. Yeah, so you're not alone, but consider the fact that your body may just be breaking down because, or like showing symptoms of certain problems because of how overworked it is from your anxiety. And as things have little by little gotten better for me, you know, I don't even want to say this out loud to jinx it, but I haven't had a panic attack I think my last one was, God, I don't remember now. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. And before that, it was like another 2 years or something. Like, it's been a long time since I had them consistently. And the last couple or few that I had were spaced out a lot. I could eat this whole tub. Maybe don't buy this unless you're prepared to put on like 5 to 10 pounds in a week. I'm definitely eating more than 2 tablespoons and it's not good. This is gonna be hard to stop eating. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful to anyone at all, or if I'm just coming off as a crazy person, but hopefully if you're in it, you understand what I mean. And I just want you to, no matter how real the symptoms feel, because they are real, just consider the fact that you might not actually have the thing that those symptoms point towards. Your anxiety can manifest in crazy ways, and it can also intensify problems that you really do have. I really do have IBS. You know, my stomach is not a good place to be, and that gets 80 times worse when I am very anxious, and then I start thinking, oh my god, I have Crohn's disease, and I don't. I've been tested. I don't. I think, oh, I have celiacs. I don't. I've been tested and I don't. I think, I even got, what is it called? Colonoscopy, I think. I got surgery, like, put to sleep, knocked out, having a horrible time, having to deal with invasive maneuvering by a doctor because I was so certain that I had like stomach cancer or something. I do have ulcers and other like small problems in that area, but nothing nearly what I was worried about. That's a lot to put yourself through. If you've ever done prep for a freaking colonoscopy, okay, men, I'm sorry, because I know that eventually I think you have to do that when you're like 50 or something. It sucks. Like, I never want to have to do that again. You have to fast for a certain period of time, but then at the end of your fasting, you have to drink this crap that its only purpose is to make you have to shit out everything that you've eaten since you were a toddler. It tastes bad. I don't even really like gag much over anything, and holy crap, it was so hard to drink. You have to drink like just about this much of this liquid, and you have to do it the night before and the morning of, so that you're very, very clean. This is gross, I'm sorry. I'm still gonna eat this. For them to get in there and take a look, it's awful. It's torture. It's literal torture. I hated it. The morning of, I couldn't finish. I just couldn't finish the liquid. And every time, I was afraid of snoring. And every time that I tried, I started like throwing it up. So I had to call and be like, hey, what should I do? And they were like, oh, you can stop taking it if that's happening. Bitch. I was so upset. Oh my god. That was one of the worst experiences physically of my life. I mean, I lived. It was fine afterwards, and I hadn't eaten for like 2 days. So we went to Shake Shack afterwards, and I ate so much, and it was delicious, so it was worth it. But by the way, Shake Shack, not that they're ever gonna watch this, why do you not have your lemon flavored custard available? That delicious lemon treat available through DoorDash. You can get custard, but they don't have the lemon with the like graham cracker or whatever it was. It was so good. And who goes anywhere anymore, right? So I need to stop eating this. This was incredibly all over the place, and I'm sorry. I've obviously never done this before, and I hope that that's still okay. Sometimes the people who I watch talk about all kinds of stuff, and I don't really care because that's not it's interesting for me to listen to someone else's thoughts, and it doesn't detract, even if I don't know what they're talking about, it doesn't detract from the togetherness feeling. So I hope that I was able to bring that to some of you. Reviews on the food. The Kraft macaroni and cheese plate was pretty good. I think it would be really good for a kid who's testing the waters with new foods, because the chicken sauce was very, very mild. Corn could use some seasoning. Someone just fell in my stairwell. My neighbors. Apparently they're fine. The mac and cheese was really good, is what I was gonna say. Now I'm gonna rant about my neighbors. This is A+, and I need to stop eating it because I've probably had like 4 tablespoons already, which is way too many calories. It's really sweet too. I don't know why I keep eating it. Those neighbors probably hate me. I haven't like run into them yet, thankfully. But okay, so tell me if I'm wrong here, but they kept leaving their trash in the hallway like overnight, or sometimes all day, because our trash is down the street. You have to walk down to the end of the block, and there are a bunch of bins like up the next street. So I get it, we're on the 3rd floor. It's not super fun to have to walk that far to dispose of your trash. However, they put their trash in the hallway because it stinks and they don't want it stinking in their house. But then everyone else, me and the other person who lives up here, have to smell it every time that we come in and out of the house. Like, there's also no air conditioning in this building. I have window AC units, and so does everyone else. So the hallways in the middle of the summer in the south are like 100 degrees. So it really stinks. And these flies, they're not full-size flies, they're not fruit flies, they're similar to a fruit fly, will just breed on their trash. And then every time I open my front door, some of them get in because there's so many of them. I think it's disgusting, so I wrote them a note. Not a mean one or anything. I was very nice and tried to be very like diplomatic and whatever, but I don't think that they took it very well because they didn't like say anything back. But they haven't put their trash in the hall again since, so that's good. But I did kind of like point out to them like, hey, you know, it's a shared hallway, and not to be rude, but if anyone has a friend or family member over, or just even the delivery people or whatever, I didn't say this, but like, it's gross for anyone to have to walk past someone else's stinking fly infested garbage to get into their home. And I hate those little flies so much because they live forever seemingly, but it's just like a new batch of them every other day, and they're the kind that like to be where you are. They bounce on your computer screen, they're really fast, so they'll like land on you, but then before you can like smack them or clap them or whatever, they're gone. They're really hard to manually kill. And I don't like sitting here eating my food in my home surrounded by flies. It makes me feel disgusting. So I said to them, I was like, look, I don't want this to sound snotty because it's not. I didn't want to get like the office involved or anything because it's not that big of a deal, but could you please stop leaving your trash in the hallway? So I don't know if that makes me a shitty person or what, but I just think it's rude and not very thoughtful. I don't know. So I'm not gonna lie, I laughed a little when I heard someone fall. Not that I wish that upon them, but people falling in general makes me laugh. And a girl was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And it just struck me. Okay, I'm gonna stop making myself look like a dick right now and just say that I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for eating with me, watching with me, talking with me. Sorry again that this was incredibly all over the place. If you have a fast metabolism or any willpower at all, edible cookie dough on point. If you have children, or if you, like me, just want to eat a children's plate for dinner for some reason, the Kraft macaroni and cheese is not bad. It's in the frozen food, and depending on how this blows over, I might do it again. Eating is something I do every day, so it wouldn't be hard to record often and have a new sort of branch on my channel, and it would be easy to maintain consistency. But I also know that not everyone likes to watch or listen to someone else eat, so by no means is this going to become my entire channel. But yeah, I think I've been preparing a few videos for a while now. One of them is very academic. It's literature based, so I've had to do a lot of like research and organizing so that I actually present it well, and hopefully I will have those out within the next couple of weeks. I also have to film my tier videos. I'm hoping to do that before my birthday, so I'm not like panicking since it is at the end of the month. And I think that's it. So I will see you in my next video.